She would walk in, I'd be like, hey, good to see you. And I'd go to my dressing room and just go, oh, I'll never be able to be with her.
Are you in love?
Are you in love?
I was.
That broke my heart.
I was.
You know what they say, never go grocery shopping when you're hungry. You grab the wrong things, and the same is in life. Never go into a relationship when you feel lonely. You might grab the wrong thing.
Why do I and everyone I love pick people who treat us like we're nothing?
We accept the love we think we deserve.
You think spending time with her, kissing her, having fun with her, you think that's what it was all about? That was love?
Yeah.
This is love, missing her because she's gone.
I thought this was the bad part.
No, the bad part is when you forget her, when you don't care about her, when you don't care about anything. The bad part is coming, so enjoy the heartbreak while you can.
I was in a relationship. She said she wasn't happy. You know what I told her?
Yeah.
I said, I'd rather you go be happy. And I stay here and bear this pain because it's going to be painful that you leaving.
Right.
But I'd rather you be happy with someone else than be miserable here another day with me. If you notice, my house doesn't have bars because it's not to keep anybody out or in. You walked in the front door, I'll allow you to walk out.
You're a young couple and you're going through some things and you're like, man, we must be the worst couple in the world. We must be the worst. Man, we just ain't got it. Of course you ain't got it figured out. When you hit 30, you still ain't 30 years of marriage, you still ain't gonna have it all figured out. My wife and I are still trying to figure stuff out. And we just take it as it comes and we learn and we mature and we grow. And it takes time. But you'll not get there if you quit. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're not expected to have it all together.
What the fuck do you do when you're depressed and you don't know what the fuck is going on with your life? I'm 23, I'm about to graduate, all these kind of good things are happening around me, but man, I ain't been more depressed in my life.
Bourdain asked me for help. He asked me for help. He said, I'm fucking miserable. I'm miserable. How do you deal with this? You won't find a fucking person that will say a bad thing about him. That guy is he's so awesome. He's always looking out for you. He'll show up for you. Whatever you need, he'll take care of you.
He's an amazing guy. Very, very interesting guy.
But
Very
and so you can't find anyone. But I'm like, you're a fucking asshole, dude. You're an asshole. You murdered yourself. You murdered yourself. You killed someone. That person happened to be you, but you couldn't even show up for yourself.
Sometimes when you're in your problems, you can't see that the reality of things is that things are okay. You know, sometimes you're just so caught up, like you got to do this and you got to do that. Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing, and just realize that by not doing anything, you're going to be okay. Take care of whatever your basic needs are, and just relax, man. Relax, and whatever it is, you'll be able to, get through it or get past it. Because time will heal everything, man. I promise you that, dude.
You don't think she ever loved you?
I don't think she ever loved me. Because if she did, it wouldn't be that easy to leave.
The thing that you may sexually fantasize about is not necessarily what you want to get into a relationship with. Guys will say,
say more.
What you optimize for in a one-night stand and what you optimize for in a marriage partner aren't always necessarily the same thing.
I would think they would be wildly disparate.
Correct. Which means that the front cover of the romance novel is not necessarily the partner that you want long-term, they're the one that you want to fantasize about. Most of these stories are driven by sex rather than driven by love.
You know that thing that you have to do that sucks? That thing? Yeah. Whether it's squats or your workout or going for a run or some paperwork or a project or cleaning up. That thing that you have to do that you know sucks. Well, the longer you wait, the longer it takes. Don't let that happen. Go on the attack, go get it done. We'll talk to you later.
Rule number 1, if she asks about it, she knows about it. So don't lie about it.
I want to move fast. I want to move correctly. I just don't want to waste no time
If it's something that's gonna take us a year to make, if it's something that's gonna take us 10 years to make, that's fine, as long as we don't waste no time.
Longevity.
And his home, and our girls are his home. And just like that 19-year-old boy, he races home. Whether it's from across the globe or a meeting across the street, he is hardwired to get home. If he came home from set not in his wardrobe, we would be very concerned. Soaked in mud, fake blood, real blood, prosthetic scars, superhero suits, tap shoes, or clown makeup, Daddy always comes home. And that man races back to his real life like nothing I have ever seen. Especially not by someone who's able to be so all in his work life. He's able to somehow be everything to everyone all at once. He's the most present person you will ever meet. And yes, he creates magic in his work, but man, oh man, does he create magic in his real life. Home is where his heart is, which is why he gives so much of his heart back to his home.
Cool thing about prayer, it's the one thing that's available to everybody at any given time. Do you know that God ain't ever too busy for you? You know that God actually knows who you are? Do you know that God actually created you to converse with Him? Do you know that God would actually love to hear from you? Do you know that I like talking to Him even when I don't really need nothing? So when I do need something, I don't want to have to introduce myself to Him.
Sometimes walking away is the only option. Not because you want to make someone miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know that you deserve better.
You never know how God is going to do what He's going to do. But you should know that He's going to do something. And a lot of people, so often we want a miracle. We want a huge blessing, but it's like, what people forget is that a miracle will only happen on the platform of a tragedy.
Where is the wealthiest place in the world? Do you know? It's not China, it's not Dubai, it's the graveyard. Because in the graveyard, you will find inventions never invented, businesses never erected, songs never sung, books never written, ideas never nurtured, people never realized, because they were scared to take a risk. Scared like you.
I learned how to be a man if I have no man influence in my life.
See, the problem when a father walks out of these dudes' lives is there's a hole in his soul the shape of his father. Here's the deal, single mothers. Every boy is going to emulate some man somewhere. He could be a good man or he could be a bad man. You got to hair up and get a good man in front of him. You don't have to be the one you dating. I ain't saying you got to go out and find the man that becomes his daddy and all this here. You just got to help get a young man pointed in his direction. And all you need is somebody older. Where you live?
South Central.
Who lives here in LA? Who gonna mentor him?
You got my number.
You got all these men said they'll mentor you, they'll help you.
If your friend is dating a girl, they break up, they call you and they say, I always watched you because I always wanted to be with you. There's millions of other girls out there. Don't go date or hook up with a friend's ex. If your friendship matters that much, don't cross that.
What people gotta really understand, nobody gotta support you, first of all. So I used to take that shit personal. I used to be like, damn, nobody's supporting me, nobody's playing my records, nobody's really rocking with me in the city like that. And then I realized it's not personal. You just gotta make somebody, you gotta make them a believer. If they don't believe you tomorrow, cool. Focus on who is rocking with you, and then you circle back and you come get them on the way back.
Being alone and feeling alone, it's two different things. You can be alone, but you could be married, you could be in a family of 4 and feel alone as fuck. Because you don't want to open up. You don't want to let people in. You don't want to admit that I need help. I need help just with this minute. Okay, and then that's you being brave. Now, if somebody then puts you on that, puts you down in that moment or does that kind of thing, then you know who they are. Man, it's been the scariest thing in my life is to admit that I don't want to be alone. The biggest thing I have to learn is to ask for help. That's the biggest thing.
Something you would do for free and make that your career.
and you'll never live a sad day in your life.
1 year from today, you are either going to be thanking yourself or kicking yourself. 1 year from today, you're going to look back at the previous 365 days and you're either going to say, thank God I spent my time doing that, or you're going to say, damn, I wish I spent my time doing that.
You can't share your dreams and your goals with everybody. Like, everybody doesn't deserve to have that type of access to you. Everybody doesn't deserve to be able to treat something that's so fragile because they won't treat it with the same care like you will. They won't see the things that you see when you dream. And see, this is gonna fuck a lot of people up, but sometimes it's gonna be your family and your friends.
Happy? I'm peaceful. I have more happy moments than I have in the past, but I'm peaceful. My biggest fear was, like, I guess believing in myself. I believe in myself now.
Yeah, straight up.
So I can say I'm peaceful. I'm peaceful now. Way more peaceful.
I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs, Navy SEAL training. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up and he asked me these questions. He had to meet like a certain height and weight limit. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone. He didn't know how much I weighed. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, you're fat and you're black. I said I want to be a Navy SEAL. I didn't know there'd only been 35 African-American Navy SEALs at that time in over 70 years. And he said I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter.
Hey you, yes, you. Today is your day. You got this. You're absolutely crushing it at everything you do, from your job to maintaining a social life to pursuing your passion projects. You're killing it. Ignore anyone who tells you otherwise, because you're amazing. You're more than capable to take on the world, the whole world, by storm. Speaking of the world, did you know that it's a better place because you're in it? I mean, your mum brags about you all the time. Dogs love you. You're strong, you're confident, you're intelligent, you're charismatic, you're the total package. On a scale from 1 to 10, you are an 11. You make me want to be a better man. You're bloody brilliant. You're
real estate ownership. Let's start small. Let's don't be scared to start small. Instead of renting a big house in the hills in California like most artists do, buy you one that's on the flat, but you own it. They can make a new car, they can make a new this, they can't make that block over. They can't make that corner over. You know what I mean? Let's buy that. Let's buy something we could touch.